Welcome. Today we are talking about a Kayastha personality whose contribution toward development of chemistry in India is unparalleled. We are today talking about Prafulla Chandra Ray. Prafulla Chandra Ray was born in August 1861. He was an Indian chemist, educationist, historian, industrialist, and philanthropist. He discovered mercurous nitrate and made a significant contribution to chemistry. He was actively involved in the Swadeshi movement, facing challenges under British rule. He founded the Bengal Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals in 1901, India's first pharmaceutical company. He contributed to education and social causes as well, leaving a lasting legacy in Indian science. Let's talk about his early life. P.C. Ray was born in a wealthy zamindar Kayastha family in Jessore of Eastern Bengal Presidency. He was the third child and son of Harish Chandra Ray Chaudhary and his wife Bhuvan Mohini Devi. His early education was done in a village school, but he did not make any significant progress due to not being punctual. Finally, in 1870, the family moved to Calcutta and P.C. Ray was enrolled in Hare School. Shortly after joining the school, he had a dysentery attack, which forced him to leave the school for the upcoming 2 years. During this time, Ray studied on his own and he deep dived into English and Bengali literature and got acquainted with Greek, Latin, and history of Rome, England, and Spain. Consequently, the dysentery was cured, but permanently damaged the health of Piscina with chronic dyspepsia and sleeplessness. Next, we talk about his education. After recovering from illness, he joined Albert School, where he came in contact with the teachings of Brahmo Samaj. After passing his matriculation examination, he joined Metropolitan College, founded by Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Here, he met Surendranath Banerjee, his English professor, who is also known as the father of nationalism in India. Thus, this seed of nationalism was sown in P.C. Ray's mind, which remained with him for his entire life. During his arts course, he studied and learned Latin and French with good knowledge of Sanskrit. Then, while being a student, he applied for Gilchrist Scholarship. To appear for the test, one need to have knowledge of at least four languages. But P.C. Ray was very intelligent. P.C. Ray was among the two winners of this prize, and using this, he went to study in UK as a BSc student without completing his arts. Next, we talk about his early career. In here, he came under the influence of Professor State and Crum Brown. In 1885, he participated in an essay competition announced by Sir Stafford Northcote, Lord Rector of the University of Edinburgh, on the topic India before and after the mutiny. Ray did not win the prize, but the contents of his essay were regarded as closest to the best. His submission, which was strongly critical of the British Raj and warned the British government of the consequences of its reactionary attitudes. It made headlines and garnered attention everywhere. In 1885, he completed his BSc and started to work on his doctoral thesis, which was completed in 1887. He won Hope Prize scholarship, which allowed him to stay for a little longer in UK. While he continued his work, he visited his professors and got a letter of introduction, hoping to get a post in Indian Educational Services or IES. But this was not easy for him. After he came back, despite having excellent credentials and degrees, he was unable to land a job. Some say that this happened due to his revolutionary essay of 1885, which had upset many influential people in UK. Finally, after a year, he was offered a job of temporary professor at Presidency College at a meager pay of rupees 250, which was very for a person of his qualification. Nevertheless, he accepted the job and started teaching. After joining the college, he used to teach his students in a very engaging style, where he focused on giving practicals as much as possible. And alongside, he also used to tell stories of great personalities in order to motivate the students. He also included social issues and discussed them with his students as well. He was very critical of educated people who studied just to land a job and who would not use their skills for welfare of the country. He held the view that the practice of regarding the university degrees as a passport for services and a measure of intellectual ability led to an insane craze for degrees among the Indian youth and a mass production of degree holders by the universities with their consequent unemployment. He wanted to lead by example, and by using his own savings, he started alchemical and pharmaceutical works in 1893. He overcame all the challenges with respect to raw materials, and soon the business was registered as Bengal Chemical and Pharmaceutical Works Limited in 1901. Prafulla Chandra Ray's 1895 discovery of mercurous nitrate significantly advanced inorganic chemistry, particularly in the study of nitrite compounds. His work demonstrated that nitrites are more stable than previously thought, and he was also able to synthesize mercurous nitrate in a stable form. During his time in Residency College, he read Berthelot book on Greek alchemy. He began collecting information about alchemy of ancient India. Gathering materials was not easy and took many years of rigorous work that led to publication of a history of Hindu chemistry in 1902 that describes about alchemy that were explained by Sanskrit text and many alchemy process unknown to modern contemporary world in that time. During this time, he used to told his students that science can wait, Swaraj cannot. This shows that he was well aware of the political situation in India and was not shy to say what was on his mind. In 1912, he developed methods to synthesize pure ammonium nitrate and various alkyl ammonium nitrites, demonstrating their stability and sublimation properties. For this, discovery, he is regarded as master of nitrites. In 1916, he bid farewell to his post at Residency College and joined the newly founded College of Science. During this period, his students started to call him Acharya, whereas the English regime used to describe him as revolutionary in the garb of a scientist. Nevertheless, he worked hard to quickly establish the newfound college as active center for chemical research in India, one of its kind at that time. On the completion of his 60th year in 1921, Prafulla Chandra made a gift of all his salary from that day onward as long as he would be entitled to it during the course of his service to the university for Department of Chemistry's development. He was very active even in his 60s and frequently visited places and delivered lectures on various subjects and topics. He started writing his biography, Life and Experiences of Bengali Chemist, Volume 1, which came in 1932, and second volume in 1935. It was later translated to Bengali by name Atmacharit. He became emeritus professor in 1936, but never stopped reading and learning. His health gradually declined, and by 1942 he was not even able to move. Finally, on the fateful day of 6th June 1944, he left for heavenly abode. Let's talk about his legacy. He is known as the father of Indian chemistry. He is an inspiration for future scientists. He always advocated for nationalism and education, as both are needed for the overall development of the people society. During his lifetime, he published more than 100 papers in different branches of science. As we know, he authored many books and he started the Bengal chemical and pharmaceutical works. Let's talk about his bibliography. He wrote Essays on India in 1886, History of Hindu Chemistry in 1902, a book named Saral Prani Bijnan or Simple Science in 1902, a History of Hindu Chemistry Volume 1 in 1902 and Volume 2 in 1909, and a book, India Before and After the Mutiny by an Indian Student, is a book by P.C. Ray about the essay that he wrote in 1885. Next, we talk about his awards like Gold Medal of University of Edinburgh, Fellow of the Chemical Society of CS in 1902, Companion of the Order of Indian Empire in 1912. He was knighted in 1919, an honorary member of Deutsche Academie Munich in same year 1919, Foundation Foundation Fellow of the National Institute of Sciences of India (FNI) in 1935, and Fellow of Indian Association for the Cultivation of Sciences (FIAS) in 1943. Thank you for watching this presentation.